Aloha, my name is Sydney Raquel, aka Parallell, and I am coming to you live from Honolulu, Hawaii during golden hour. It's looking really beautiful outside, and I'm just excited to plug in with you and go over this Rokoko Studio tutorial on how to import Rokoko Animation Data as an FBX sequence into Unreal Engine 4.27 and use this animation data on a Paragon character which exists inside Unreal Engine Marketplace. And so I'm going to walk you through this step by step, but the ultimate output will be an Unreal Engine created music video. I can show you here something that I created last year with artist Rose Aria, and this music video and this approach that I use to create this.
I do it no permission. You want me to have any fun? Your love is like chasing the sun. I think that it's time that I want most. Wait for a sign or a spark. I just have to wait till it's dark. Go on this journey we embark. My lips on your neck leave a mark. Go know how this goes. Know how this goes. Know how this goes.
Rose and I were able to create this music video together using Rokoko Studio and Rokoko Motion Capture Smart Suit. This song is called Elements, and it was created by Rose Aria, a local performer, singer, dancer, and yogi here on Oahu. I recommend giving her a follow if you want to learn more about her or listen to her on Spotify. Go check out Rose Aria and this song, Elements. And I really need to do a special shout out to Mid-Pacific Institute, an institute here on the island of Oahu, because none of this would be possible without Mid-Pac. They have Rokoko motion capture suits in their classroom, in their green screen room, and I have the privilege of teaching in what's called their Global XLP program, an after-school class for high school students on extended reality production. And so in being able to use this technology in the classroom, we're able to unpack it and teach the students character animation data and rigging inside of game engines such as Unreal. And so that's what this tutorial is intended for, is those students being able to have a greater understanding and on the how to complete a project such as this, but we're also going to be uploading it to the great wide YouTube so that everybody can help one another to create inside of the engine and create using Rokoko, as they just came out of beta. Congratulations, Rokoko, and thank you so much, Mid-Pac Institute. Yeah, you guys should link. I'm so happy to be collaborating and working with Mid-Pac Institute as the founder of Imurse Productions, or Imurse by Parallell, an extended reality production company out here in Hawaii that also has a creators hub pop-up venue called Imurse, where creators get together and use this space as an incubator and to showcase events and performing arts. And so we've really got a lot of unique things going on at Imurse, and we're able to collaborate with local artists such as Rose. And so if you like this kind of content, go ahead and give Imurse by Parallell a follow. And moving on, let's break into this tutorial. I wanted to let you know that I'll be recording this on 2 different days, and so you'll be following along from 2 different perspectives. I'll be in the green screen room, in front of the green screen, hands-on with the motion capture, and I'll also be explaining from here at home in the post-production phase. Download Rokoko Studio as well as Unreal Engine 4.27. You can also have Unreal Engine 5.1 downloaded. You got to make sure that your computer meets certain system requirements. You have a reliable Wi-Fi source. Your smart suit needs to have a battery pack so it can be operable, not being hooked up to the computer. Some people use the gloves. We didn't use the gloves in our tutorial. First thing that you need to do is download the Smart Suit Studio Legacy software. Once you have that downloaded, you should be able to pull it up and sign in. So you need to create a login.
Once you have downloaded Rokoko Studio and you have entered into the software, you can sign in. And if you haven't done that already, go ahead and sign up. You see sign up here. Once you get past those steps and you're ready to sign in, go ahead and sign into your account and create a new project.
Aloha, it's a whole new day. Yay! To get back into the lesson, connected to the Rokoko Motion Capture Hub is a cable. On one side of the cable is USB, the other side is USB-C. Connect the USB-C side to the hub on the suit. Connect the USB side to the computer. This is going to pair your suit and your software.
When you do that, in the bottom right-hand corner of Rokoko Studio, a pop-up window should appear that tells you that a smart suit has been identified, and to click here to set it up. And you click that pop-up and it brings you up to the Wi-Fi settings. If for some reason it doesn't appear, you can also click the suit icon in the top right-hand corner to get the Wi-Fi settings to pull up. Match your Wi-Fi settings to your computer to your smart suit. You brief over it, you click your Wi-Fi settings, you choose your Wi-Fi from the drop-down menu, you type in your password, and then it's important to use the correct IP address. And so you'll want to go ahead and check on your computer, is this a match IP? The receiver port is not as important. It's a little bit more randomly generated. Enter in your Wi-Fi and then we'll move forward from there. Next, what you'll do is you'll be in Rokoko Studio and you should have your avatar just kind of floating there limp if you aren't in the suit yet. So then you're going to create an actor. So you do that on the right-hand side. You create an actor profile by clicking Add Objects button on the right side, and you're gonna enter in your height data. How tall are you? And are you a female or male? Type of information. And then you add your actor profile to the scene. Then you drag the little button, the avatar suit on it, under the profile of the actor you've created. You've basically paired your smart suit with whatever character is about to do the motion capture dance. And so then once it's paired with your actor profile, you should be ready to go. Put on the smart suit and get into it. Then you hit record, and from there it's pretty easy to go ahead and export out of Rokoko and import it into Unreal Engine. When you go to export, it's best to stick with the format of FBX, but you also want to make sure you have body mesh checked. And under skeleton, the best one that is most used across platforms and easy to pair up with other bone maps and such within Unreal Engine is the Maya Human IK skeleton. So you're going to use that skeleton and we export it. Now let's jump into the Unreal Engine portion. Once you've exported your animation, once you've recorded your animation and you're ready to export it out of Rokoko Studio and into Unreal Engine. Go to my library and launch Engine version 4.27. As far as the settings you choose, you're gonna hit games. You're gonna pick third person, and all of the other ones you'll leave blanks, or go ahead and leave your settings. Name your project, Rokoko Learning, and you should be good to go. Import your animation wherever you exported it to. Find it in your file format. You create a new folder, call it Rokoko Learning. Import your animation, and you want to make sure that you click the right settings. So some of those settings include import morph targets, use TO as ref pose, and make sure import animations is obviously checked. Your skeleton should say none. You're going to import all. Then you're going to click on your animation once you've imported it and check out what does your animation look like. You can see the skeletal tree, you can see the details here, and over here if you click skeleton is when you can then set up your rig. So you want to make sure that your skeleton is humanoid. That's the easiest one to work with. Most skeletons are humanoid rigs, even if they're not humans. So you're going to select your rig, select humanoid rig, This is the most tedious and difficult part, but you're going to go through and assign, your bone maps. So assign the matching bones with whatever your bone map needs to be. Your bone map of your animation and of the character need to match one another. And so let's go ahead and go through an example what that could look like. Your root, that's going to be your character 1 reference. Your pelvis, that's going to be your character 1 hips. Your spine is going to be your character 1 spine, spine 1, and spine 2. They don't always make sense or match up exactly right, which is why I'm going to go ahead and include the list for this particular demo. But different characters have different bone maps, and so you can get a little complex and convoluted and complicated, especially when you're working with characters outside of the Unreal Engine marketplace and starting to bring in custom characters that you're trying to rig from something like Turbo Squid or something from outside of what's already pre-existing in Unreal Engine. So do note that your bone map is going to be your biggest barrier, and there are bone maps that you can follow, but they're not always correct. So this is going to be the part where you have the most troubleshooting to do. Hopefully I can help solve it for this particular video and using Paragon characters, what your bone map should look like. So I'll provide that list, and then once you've gone through and you've assigned your bone map, we'll get to the next part.
I do it no permission. You want me to have any fun? Your love is like chasing the sun. I think that it's time that I want most. Wait for a
Once you've gone through your
sign.
base bones and assign the proper bone map, you can save it and then show advanced, and you can go through and make sure that nothing is there. Since today we're not doing finger bones, we're not doing face, you should always go ahead, unless you stated specifically otherwise, and delete the twist bones, because typically those aren't used. So go ahead and show advanced and clear all of them. Delete your twist bones, your finger bones, your face bones, unless you're working with the Smart Suit gloves today and you want to go ahead and assign your finger bones. Then go back to show base, make sure all that's correct, save it.
You're going to want to make sure that your animation and your character have the same pose when it comes time to retarget. So let me introduce those poses to you. Each will come in preset in A pose with the arms down below, or T pose with the arms out to the side. You can see that my animation is already in T pose, but let me brief over how to go about adjusting those bones. I'll get more in depth in this step when we're doing this with our character a little bit later in this tutorial, because we're going to actually need to adjust our character from A pose to T pose. You're going to click on your skeleton upper arm, and you're going to adjust typically between 30 and 60 degrees until your arms make a straight line. You're also going to adjust the lower arms just a bit if you need to, if they look like they need to come forward or backward 10 to 20 degrees. Then hit modify pose and use current pose. Finish it off by saving it. If you need further explanation, zoom to the end of this video, and I go into modifying your poses a little bit more with our character. You can apply the same explanation to modifying the pose here in the animation.
One important step is also to click preview mesh skeleton. You want to hit apply.
It's going to be really important to finish this off with hitting save up in the upper left corner of your retarget manager. So first things first, you're definitely going to need a character to experiment on. And there's many free Paragon options on the Unreal Engine marketplace. And so go over to your Epic Games launcher, click Marketplace, and search Paragon characters, and find a free asset to use, import it into your library, and then add it to your project that you're currently working on. Once you have found your marketplace character, you're going to import it into Unreal Engine and begin working with this character and its skeletal system. Go into your skeleton retarget manager. We're going to be adjusting this bone map just like we did in the animation to match that of your character. There might be an extra step in which you need to modify your pose of your character from A pose, where the arms are down below, to T pose, where the arms are out to the side. Make sure that you click Modify Pose and save if you do have to modify your characters. You're going to want to ensure that you have the following settings clicked when modifying the pose. First, ensure that your rig is humanoid. Second, change your snapping down to 5. This just simplifies the process. And third, click Character, Bones, and All Hierarchy. Once you have all of these settings, you can click Modify Pose and begin modifying the pose from A to T. I'm gonna grab the upper arm, and in this case, move it about 60 degrees, and do it on the other arm, move it 60 degrees. Then I'm gonna go over to the lower arm on each side and modify it about 10-20 degrees. Once you modify both sides of the arms should look like a T-pose out by the side of the character. Then make sure you hit Modify Pose, use Current Pose, and that's how the engine will know to adjust to use this pose when you pair your character to your animation. Make sure you hit Save in both locations, but it's going to be really important to finish this off with hitting Save up in the upper left corner of your retarget manager.
You're going to go back to your content browser. You're going to pull up your animation. You're going to right click. You're going to hit Retarget Animation Assets and then Duplicate Animation Assets and Retarget. Boom. So when you do that, your animation should be on the left and your intended character on the right. Your intended character is going to be up here on the left hand side. So you click that and boom, you see my animation is in T-pose. My Zinx character is also in T-pose.
Sometimes when you get to this retargeting step and your character and your animation are side by side, you'll notice that one actually isn't in T-pose or their poses aren't matching. So you might have to go back and modify your pose again and reset it and just move it by a couple degrees, your upper arm bones or your lower arm bones or even your wrists or your hands, and get it looking correct. And it's okay if you have to repeat this step a couple of times. Then when you're ready, go back to your retargeting manager and finish off this step.
So now you can hit retarget and your animation will be right here.
I drag my animation into the scene that I've created, set up my scene, set up all my characters. In this case, Rose's motion capture was used on all of the characters in the music video, including the little dancing moths in the background. And so I'm going to drag those animations that are now rigged to the characters into my scene, set up my camera, which is a whole separate tutorial on how to then create a music video using your cinematic sequencer. We began in Rokoko Studio, downloading the software and getting into the suits to record our animation data. We were then able to import that data into Unreal Engine, set up our animation, apply the correct settings to our bone maps, match those animation settings of the bone maps to the characters, and then we were able to retarget our animation to a character from Unreal Engine Marketplace. This is a great way to go about making a music video with old, trusty, reliable Engine version 4.27 in a post-production phase if you're not trying to do on-the-fly live editing. And the next step, will be importing into Unreal Engine Live using Unreal Engine 5.1 Live plugin. I hope that this tutorial was helpful, and please contact me if you have any question. I'm coming to you live from Honolulu, Hawaii with Imurse by Parallell.
I do with no permission. You want me to have any fun? Your love is like chasing the sun. I think that it's time that I want most. Wait for a sign or a spark. I just have to wait till it's dark. Go on this journey we embark. My lips on your neck leave a mark. Know how this goes. Know how this goes. Know how this goes.